Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Please subscribe us before you watch today's video. Does anyone know how many chips a smartphone has? According to industry insiders, almost hundreds of large and small ones have been integrated. Among them, the most important one is the core SoC chip, which is also the most complex in design and the most difficult to manufacture. Leaving aside manufacturing, design alone stumps many companies, let alone mass production applications. So there are not many SoC chip manufacturers. Qualcomm is a well-known SoC chip supplier, but now the gap has widened again, and blows are coming one after another. Among smartphone manufacturers, being able to design their own SoC chips is a major advantage. Apple's mobile phones can remain at the high end because of the leading performance of its self-developed A-series chips. Huawei's mobile phones can enter the high-end market thanks to its self-developed Kirin chips. Although Samsung has also developed its own SoC chip Exynos, its reputation is not very good and cannot be compared with Apple's A-series and Huawei's Kirin. However, Samsung has deep pockets and has not given up on research and development. However, it mainly purchases Qualcomm chips in large quantities. This has also led to the fact that although Samsung's mobile phone shipments rank first in the world, it is mainly mid to low end, and its profits are far lower than Apple's. Smartphone manufacturers that do not have the ability to develop SoC chips themselves can only choose to purchase them from SoC suppliers. There are even fewer dedicated mobile phone SoC chip suppliers. Qualcomm was the first to become famous. In the past, mobile phone manufacturers mainly purchased from Qualcomm. Later, Qualcomm's market share was surpassed by MediaTek, and it failed to reverse for several consecutive years. MediaTek also got a big deal because the US implemented a chip ban, which restricted the shipment of Qualcomm chips. The decline in Huawei's mobile phone sales also vacated a lot of market share. MediaTek seized the opportunity, resulting in occupying the market with mid to low-end products. Despite this, MediaTek has always remained awake and knows that Qualcomm has an advantage in high-end SoC chips. Therefore, even though the market share exceeds Qualcomm, it has not stopped moving forward and continues to focus on high-end products to challenge Qualcomm again. Later, MediaTek released multiple Dimensity series SoC chips with good performance, directly grabbing a lot of Qualcomm's share. Recently, Canalys, a well-known market research organization, released the SoC shipment rankings for the first quarter of this year. MediaTek once again rose to the top, ranking first with a shipment of 114 million units, with a market share of 39%, a year-on-year increase of 17%. It is worth mentioning that the gap between Qualcomm and MediaTek has further widened. Although Qualcomm is still ranked second, its shipments were only 75 million, and the year-on-year growth was only 11%. Compared with MediaTek, Qualcomm's growth rate has also become lower. This can be seen from the customer ratio of the two companies. MediaTek is increasingly recognized by mobile phone manufacturers. Samsung and Xiaomi are important customers of Qualcomm, with current contributions of 26% and 20%, while their contributions to MediaTek are 20% and 23%. It can be seen that under the influence of US chip restrictions, not only domestic mobile phone manufacturers, but other manufacturers are also interested in sharing risks. Previously, although Huawei had its own Kirin chips, it also purchased many Qualcomm SoC chips. However, the US has implemented a chip ban, which directly restricts Qualcomm from shipping 5G and other high-end chips to Huawei, causing estimated annual losses of up to $8 billion. In order to reduce losses, Qualcomm worked actively, applied for a 4G chip shipment license, and was able to ship some chips to Huawei. Even though Huawei has returned to self-developed Kirin chips, and is still purchasing Qualcomm's 4G Snapdragon, what Qualcomm did not expect is that the United States has recently revoked its 4G chip shipment license. It can be said that the attacks on Qualcomm are coming one after another, and the losses are getting bigger and bigger. What is also noteworthy is that China chip has once again counterattacked. Huawei HiSilicon has made a comeback. Due to sanctions, HiSilicon's Kirin share once dropped to 0. Now it ranks 6th in the world, with shipments reaching 8 million units and revenue of $6 billion. Not to mention, the performance of another SoC chip manufacturer, Unisoc, is also amazing. Its shipments reached 26 million units, a year-on-year increase of 64%. This growth rate is the fastest among the top 5 SoC manufacturers in the world. This is also due to the rapid expansion of domestic brand traction in emerging markets, such as Asia-Pacific, Europe, Middle East and Africa, and Latin America. In addition to traction, it is said that Realme and Lenovo have also begun to use Unisoc's chips on a large scale. However, Ziguang Zhanrui must also clearly realize that currently it is mainly in the mid to low end, and next it will work towards the mid to high end to gain more customers. In short, Qualcomm is now unexpected. It used to be 2 to 5 percentage points less than MediaTek, but now the difference is 14 percentage points. At the same time, the United States has cancelled its shipment license, and HiSilicon and Unisoc are counterattacking. In the following days, even worse.